西洋など無駄だ。消えろ。無能。はっ。ここだ。無能。無能。
Hey, what's up guys? After months of grinding artifact domains, I finally managed to get 300 crit damage Xiao. And this is with no food or anything. As you can see, no food buffs or nothing right now. Not even like supports that buff my crit. And when I look here, we got 299.6, which can be rounded up to 300. This 0.4% has been bothering me very much, but it is effectively 300% crit damage. Without food, with crit damage food, this would go up to 320, and it's just a ton of damage. So I'm going to start by doing the showcase, and then I'm going to go over my Xiao stuff, but very quickly, I'll just show you guys my artifacts, because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about them. With this build, I'm either 2 Viridescent or 2 Glad. Ideally, you'd want both, but I am prioritizing substats over sets. If I do run 2 Viridescent, 2 Glad, as I usually do, my crit ratio stays good, but it goes to 70 to 80, which is good and more consistent. And obviously I can make my crit rate even higher. As I said, if I'm trying to go for a consistent Xiao, I can have up to 92 to 40, which is probably the craziest Xiao artifacts I've ever seen, with a Homa and 2 Viridescent, 2 Glad, so on set. But in this video, I'm trying to do a 300 crit damage showcase. That's the point. And so when I put on my insanely high crit damage artifacts, my ratio is 65-300 effectively, which is a bit low crit rate, but it's 300 crit damage, and that's what we're going for. Also, keep in mind my Xiao is double crowned, 10-7-10. Also, he is C1, so it's not like a C6 Xiao showcase. It's nothing too crazy. C1 just gives me an extra charge on my E, which isn't the biggest deal, but you know, I just want to disclose it. Also, I am running a Staff of Homa, only refinement 1. So, you know, not a super like Giga Whale showcase, but it is still a 5-star weapon. So I do want to show you guys that. And I want to mention that in the showcase, we're going to be clearing a bunch of bosses. We're also going to be doing a full Abyss 12 run, and I think some clips from Abyss 11. But as a teaser, and probably my most impressive feat, and we're going to get into this right away, is that I do clear 12-3, the first half of 12-3 in 10 seconds with Xiao with this build. So it's pretty crazy, and you guys will see that in a bit. It would have been in the intro, but I had to mute the audio sadly. But yeah. And lastly, I want you guys to know that I'm going to be streaming all the new 1.5 content live on Twitch if you're interested. But anyways, I don't want to waste your guys' time, so let's get right into the showcase, and I'll talk more about Xiao and the team comps I'm running at the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoy.
sick when he's like, first met you guys, I was like,
So I hope you enjoyed the showcase. Now I want to go over some important things, basically talking about what I did, what I used, comps, and just some general Xiao information. I want to keep this video pretty short, so I'll try to go over it pretty fast. And I already mentioned this stuff in the intro, but I am on an R1 Staff of Homa and, 10-7-10, C1 Xiao. And this doesn't really affect the showcase. Most of the showcase is just me plunging and killing everything, but it does give me a third charge. So some clips I do charge 3 times, right? But apart from that, Xiao's constellations aren't that great anyways, apart from his C6. Weapon-wise, I do get asked a lot if Homa or Jade are better, is better for Xiao. And my honest opinion is I rank them tied. Basically, Homa under 50, if you have this passive, can be better than Jade, right? But overall, especially if you're running like Bandit and you're healed above 50, I like Jade, and I think they're tied overall. Because, what I said. Homa can be better under 50, and Jade is just better, if not, / good overall. And obviously, even if I had like Deathmatch or just a 4-star weapon, this Xiao would still be insane. It's just Homa and Jade are just better. And I talked to you guys about like my artifact sets in the intro, but now I'm going to show you guys the individual pieces. And keep in mind, I have been grinding Verdescent Veneer since before Albedo came out, so it has been months of me just spamming artifact domains, especially Verdescent, and I literally do like nothing else with my resin. I don't like fully resin refresh, I never do the 200s or anything, but I still spent a lot of resin on artifacts, so it's normal for me to have really good artifacts at this point in the game. I have this insane flower, really good feather, sands, which is probably my best artifact, just period, a good goblet on Glad, and a circlet, which can give me 2 Verdescent or 2 Glad if I just swap circlets. And usually, as I mentioned in the intro, I am on 2 Verdescent and 2 Glad, just because I usually use a different feather. And honestly, the most annoying part is that this feather right here is Maiden's. If this was Verdescent, everything would be happy. And I don't really know where to put this, but I do want to quickly talk about some plunge things with Xiao that I didn't really mention in my Xiao guide a few months ago. So you'll notice in my 12-1 clear, or in some of my clips actually, there's quite a few, where like I'll pull my wings out to glide, or I'll, alternate between low and high plunge. And basically, a lot of this stuff depends on what's happening. For example, when I pull my wings out to glide, it's usually intentional to dodge an attack. Like, as you guys can see here, I'm about to pull my wings out and glide, and this is a clip I put earlier in the video, and that's to dodge the Geo Vishap that was about to jump on me, right? So I kind of wanted to take this time to say, a lot of the time you have to change how you play Xiao depending on what's happening. And so sometimes actually waiting for a Geo Vishap to jump or for a Ruin Guard to do something so you can dodge the attack because you're in the air can actually be optimal. Now, regarding the supports I use and sort of the team comps, I want to first of all disclose that in general, for most gameplay and in my Abyss teams, which is when my team comps actually matter, you'll usually see me running a Nemo support with Xiao. Now, the reason for that is because Xiao needs a battery, especially if you're not stacking energy recharge on him, which you usually shouldn't because you'll lose out on DPS. You need an Nemo support battery. Now, this isn't going to be a full Xiao guide, it's a showcase, so I'm going to keep this brief. But the reason why sometimes I don't is when I'm just trying to one-shot a boss or doing the most burst damage I can, right? What I mean by that is usually for the Abyss teams, I'll run an Nemo battery so my Xiao can have his burst up all the time. But when I'm trying to one-shot Storm Terror or something, I can run like a Ningguang on Thrilling Tales, or any Thrilling Tales user. Ningguang just gives me Geo Resonance 2 if I want to, instead of my Nemo character like Venti or Jean or Sucrose, someone I'd usually use, just for a bit more damage, although it is not something I would recommend for like Abyss. Apart from that, it's the usual. I'm running Bennett for his burst that gives a lot of damage, and I run him on 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. And I'm also running Zhongli usually. I think Zhongli's like Xiao's best support, and probably the best support in the game. Him and Venti are I'd say tied or very close. Zhongli, as you guys know, insane. Especially with the new artifact set that's coming out, and I'll probably make a video on that. Zhongli's just amazing. His shield resistance shreds, which basically lets you do more damage, and he's just a great character, and that's why I run him. But yeah, as I said, there isn't much to say without turning this into a guide. It's been a meme on my stream that I only have 299.6 crit damage, and I hate it. I basically got low rolls on this artifact. Like, it's still a good artifact, don't get me wrong, but my last roll was a low one, which was unlucky. But it's not a big deal. Still really good, insane artifact luck, and this is basically 300, right? You can round it up. 299.6, I don't have to explain it. And with food, it would be 320, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't want to talk too much. I want to go prep for 1.5. There's a new artifact set that's going to be sick. A bunch of new characters, housing, and just a ton of stuff I'm looking forward to. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want updates or whatever, join the Discord, subscribe, all that stuff. I appreciate it. And that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
わめくがいい
What?